Good morning. I'm Sofi and I'm currently at Kecara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. Today I'll be doing a short sharing on how to make offerings to the Buddha. The benefits of making offerings to the Buddha is our wishes will become fulfilled and our fears will end. So first we recall the enlightened qualities of the Buddha and we cultivate a generous attitude in our giving. Generosity will create the cause for us to never be deprived of living, such as food, shelter, or wealth in our future lives. We will accumulate positive potential and purifying, clinging, and miserliness. So first, we will set the motivation. Our motivation, the best, would be that we would wish to gain enlightenment, to benefit all sentient beings, and it will take when you set such a high goal, it will also take care of all the little ones that comes along. And then we will begin by cleaning the area around the altar and all the holy objects, the floor, and etc. The altar, you can set the altar anywhere in your house except for unclean places such as toilets. And the guideline will be respect. So wherever you feel that is suitable, then you can set the altar. And on the altar, we have Buddha representation, which could be a statue or could be a picture. And then we have the Dharma text, which we set to the right of the Buddha. And then we have the stupa. The Buddha representation, it's the representation of the body, which is the statue or the picture, or could be a tanka. And the Dharma text represents the speech of the Buddha. And the stupa represents the enlightened mind of the Buddha. Then we would prepare and we make the offerings, so we can offer anything that you feel that it's beautiful and clean. In the normal offering, if you do not have the means or you feel that you're a bit tight, the most basic offerings that we do will be offering of water. There are 8 qualities to offering water. Each quality will represent the quality that you will develop in the future, that results from the offering of water with good motivation. The first quality is your ethics will be pure, because the water you offer is cool. Because the water is delicious, you will come to enjoy delicious food. The lightness of the water indicates that your mind and body will become one, become fit. The water softness results in gentle mind stream. A clear mind results from the water's clearness as well. It's being free from bad smell will purify your karmic obscuration. Because the water does not hurt your stomach, your body will be free from illness. It is also easy on the throat, which indicates that you will have pleasant speech. So these are the 8 qualities of offering water. And you can also offer other items that you wish to offer, such as flowers, food, fruits, light as in candle. And we can begin our most basic offering with 7 bowls of water. So this is how you would offer. You would make you take the bowl and by wipe it first, clean it, and as the first bowl after you wipe, you will turn it upside down on the altar, because we do not want to offer empty bowls to the Buddha. And Then you clean the rest of the bowl and you also put them upside down. Then you get some clean water, put it in a jug. It's for easy pouring, and you pour it into the first bowl. Then you pick up the second bowl and you pour most of the water into the second bowl, but leaving a little in the first bowl. You set down the first bowl on the altar and you continue with the second bowl. The second bowl you pour in most of the water into the third bowl, leaving some in the second bowl, and you set down the second bowl next to the first bowl. Make sure that the first bowl and the second bowl, the separation, it's a grain of the width of a grain of rice. And so as you continue forth until you reach the seventh bowl. Once you set up all nicely with the distance of a grain of rice, then you fill up the bowls with water, and the water level will be also a grain of rice. By setting this grain of rice, you will focus. It will be good for your concentration, and you be careful that you do not, you are more focused in your practice as you go along. So it is also a teaching practice that we do. And then after you have completely filled the bowls, you will light the incense stick and you will go over it to purify it with Om Ma Hum, which you repeat 3 times. This is to consecrate the offerings with Buddha's body, speech and mind, or representative of it, the enlightened ones. Many of the offerings have symbolic meanings. The flower represents qualities of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. The incense signifies the fragrance of pure ethics. The light symbolizes wisdom, and perfume represents faith, confidence in the holy beings. Offering of food represents the nourishment of meditative concentration. And music reminds us of impermanence and empty nature of phenomena. So with this you offer, and then you can begin your practice for the day. And anytime that you after that you can clear the offerings, or at the end of the day you can clear the offerings. You empty the bowl from right to left. Yes, when you are making the water offering, you start, the first bowl will be starting from your left, and then you place the next bowl onto your right and continue on. So starting when you make the offering is from the left to the right. So when you clear for the day, it will be from the right to the left. So you empty the bowl from the right and you will wipe it dry, turn it upside down. As I mentioned, do not offer empty bowls to the Buddha. And once you finish all, then you can leave it for the day until the next morning or the next day. When the next time you make offering, you can start again from your left. And remember that if you are offering candles, offering light to the Buddha, make sure that you extinguish it. But please do not use your breath to do that. Use something that using other ways to extinguish the light. Then you can use it again for your next offering. So as such, I will end my session today. And if there's any questions for the day. Sorry, I need my phone for. Okay, the question from Valentina. Earlier, you mentioned that when we consecrate the offerings with Oma Home, we consecrate the offerings with Buddha's speech and mind. Is the essence of the Buddha's speech and mind that's within the words Om Home? So, but the thing is, I do not know the exact answer, so I will look it up and I will reply you. Why do we need to consecrate our offerings? We consecrate it to purify the offerings because we are, well, from our side, we are kind of I would say that we are contaminated, but I would look up for the answer as well. Pastor Shin Tan has asked, why must we make offerings when the Buddhas are enlightened and do not need anything from us? The Buddha, yes, the Buddha does not need anything from us because they are enlightened. But from our side, we need a lot of blessings, we need a lot of merits. So as such, when we make offerings, we will generate this because due to the Buddha's enlightened state, their enlightened qualities, they are able to that when we make the offering, we are also opening up our our Buddha mind in form of generosity. So as such, we can tap into the blessings from the Buddha. From Yi Yin Teo, is it okay if I only offer 3 bowls of water to the Buddha? What is the reason we do not leave the bowl empty on the altar? Excuse me. Yes, you can offer only 3 bowls to the Buddha. It is really up to us what we would like to offer to the Buddha. So as such, because we are practicing generosity, we would like to offer as much as we can within our means. And we do not leave the empty bowl on the altar because we do not like to offer something empty to the Buddha. So that is why we turn it upside down. It's just as any guest that comes, you do not offer empty bowls to them. You will always fill it up with food or with something, nice that you offer. So it's the same thought along that line. Why we don't use our breath to extinguish the flames? As I mentioned before, our breath, well, I think it would be better if I were to look up the answer and I will present it in the comments section. This one would be in line together with the consecration of the offerings. It would be similar to that. So I will look up the reply. Okay, Pastor Adeline has asked, for light offering, is it only supposed to be done during when we make offerings and then just blow it off immediately after? For light offering, you can actually extinguish it, not blow it. You can actually extinguish it immediately after if you feel that it's more suitable, it suits your time. But we generally would prefer that you offer it for at least 8 hours. That is the guideline that we learned. So if you can, leave it on for 8 hours at least. But anytime, actually, it's really the Buddha actually does not mind, so it's basically from our side that how long you will wish to offer it. Chris has asked, why are we contaminated? So quoting from what I said. So as such, I will reply together with the same questions that was asked by Yin Teo and Valentina. Pastor Adeline has said that, isn't it dangerous to leave the candles lit for 8 hours? There are actually there are receptacles that you can use so that it will prevent any danger from it, such as you put it into a how do you say, a metal bowl, so that in case the glass breaks, or it will just melt into the bowl itself. And make sure that the candle is stable, that it does not topple over. So basically the receptacle, you just make sure that it's safe. And at this, I would like also to say that what we usually would offer will be those that's in the glass form, not because the tall one, those are a bit, because the wax would drip, and it's a bit more unsafe. So that is usually what I offer in the glass, because it's stable, and we put the metal bowl underneath, so that if in case the glass do crack, then it will just flow into the bowl itself. So there's no questions anymore. There's one more question. Okay, there's one question from Alan. At what time of day do you take off water offerings? Actually, water offerings, you can actually at any time that is suitable for you, but usually it'll be after maybe you'll be doing your prayers. So after your prayers, if you feel that you will not have further time, then you can just clear it, or if possible, you can leave it, and then at the end of the day, before you sleep, you can also clear it. So any time that you feel that is suitable. Is there any other questions?
Scroll back up and down, just double check. I have one question you didn't reply.
I do not see any questions, but if I do not answer you now, I will answer you again later in the day. But anyway, so okay, another question from Alan. Which special offerings can be made to Doje Shukden? And I would say anything that you feel that that you feel is suitable would be good offering to Doje Shukden. But the best offering to Doje Shukden, I would say your mind transformation. If you transform yourself for the better, then that will be the best offering. From Chris. If light offering is advisable to be lit for 8 hours, why water offering is not advisable to be left for 8 hours? It can be left for 8 hours. It is, as I said, really up to you and your convenience. So any hour is okay. It's just that before you go to sleep for the day, then just make clear the offerings. Okay. Yes, from Pastor Adeline. When you say we can offer anything we like, can we offer dolls, cash, fixed deposit, shoes, lingerie, etc.? What is the guideline that we for what we can offer? Right, that's my mistake for saying everything. So for doll, I would say that you can offer that, but remember, whatever you offer on the altar, usually we do not remove because it's considered offered to the Buddha. For cash and fixed deposit, I would not recommend because that is very well, not unless you want to leave it on the altar, but it's a very worldly thing that creates suffering for us. So why would we want to offer something that is the cause of suffering to the Buddha? The guideline would be something that will create the cause for you to be I mean for better conditions that you may be able to practice the Dharma. Actually, we can offer cash and fixed deposits if you want. But the thing is, once you offer it, you do not use it for yourself. It would be advisable that the cash and fixed deposit be used for something that benefit others, because it has already been offered to Buddha, and Buddha will not use it for himself. So he would use it for something that's beneficial to others. So you can use it to donate it to charity, or you can donate it to, you know, any things that you feel that will benefit from this. Okay, the question from Joy. How does water help to create the causes for good speech? Can you explain more on this? Because the water is clean and it will clear your throat, it feels good on the throat, and as such it's a representation, and then it would in your, you know, it would as because you have set your motivation to be, you know, to be beneficial to other beings. And also when you do focus on the qualities of the water, so you visualize it cleaning your mouth, your all the negative qualities. So as such, you will develop qualities such as good speech. Right, Alan has asked, if I'm eating a snack, before eating it, can I offer it? Or is it just on meals? You can offer it, but it would not be as good an offering because it is not with pure motivation, and it's not generosity because you're offering something that you intend to use or you intend to eat. So that is not a pure motivation for offering. So I would say no. Usually when you offer with pure motivation. It's not something that you wish for yourself. It's something that's purely that you feel that it's beautiful or it's delicious, that you wish to offer to the Buddha himself. Right. Chris has asked, why is it that items offered to the Buddhas cannot be removed from the altar? So it means the food that I offer has to be left there. That's my mistake again. You can actually remove items from the altar. The food, of course, you need to remove because or else it will spoil or attract any of the insects, maybe like ants or cockroaches. So it's advisable to remove and dispose of it. Or since it's blessed, you can actually take it. What I meant from my side, but I think it's better that I were to read up more on that because I'm not very sure of my answer, and then I will reply later. Okay, Valentina has asked, are you saying that money is always the cause of suffering? And there are wealth Buddha like Zambala and Genze that bestow wealth. Are they giving us the cause of suffering? Okay, that's my mistake again. Wealth is actually the cause of suffering if you are using it wrongly. Wealth can be good because we do need money to live on. But if you're just coveting wealth for itself, then that is the cause of suffering. So like Buddha, like Zambala or Genze, where we propitiate for wealth, the reason behind that is so that we have the suitable condition where we do not have to worry about our living expenses or anything that we may need, and so that we may be able to have that time, that peace of mind to practice our spiritual path, our practices. So that is the reason that for having we propitiate wealth, and also for the wealth can be helped in in generating more for people to be able to connect with the religion, with spirituality, such as we can contribute to building temples, we can contribute towards any maybe like printing of Dharma books, such things that you do need the wealth to in order to do that, and all this will benefit other people. So that is why we propitiate wealth, for that reason. Right, from Yi Yin Teo, I have heard that we can offer our attachment to the Buddha. Why can't we offer our sufferings to the Buddha to create the cause for not having sufferings anymore? Attachment will lead to sufferings, no? Yes, attachment do lead to suffering, and we can offer the suffering to our Buddha, but not as in physically offering. But the thing is, when we offer our attachment, we offer our suffering, we are creating the condition for ourselves not to suffer. That is if we are practicing. So in that sense, when we offer our attachment, we offer it up and when we offer, then it's no longer with us, so which means that it represents that we do not want to be attached anymore. So in life, you too have to practice that you do not become attached, so that is the practice of it. So because of attachment, it comes suffering. So that is why we can offer suffering, but you have to find out the reason for your suffering, and to stop that contribution towards your suffering. That is how, when you offer to the Buddha, you find out the reason and you stop the reason for suffering. I have seen many times that Rinpoche would offer things up to the Buddha before using them. So is this wrong? Of course it's not wrong. You should offer offer things to the Buddha before you use them. So usually when you give presents to people, you don't use it and then you give to others, right? So it is what you would do too. So would you, something that you offer, then you don't use it first, before you offer. Joy has asked, why did you say we should not offer anything that creates suffering for ourselves? Excuse me. Is it suffering, or is it a way to help us cut our attachment? And in Buddhist practice, if we are attached to something, are we not supposed to detach from it even more and offer it to the Buddhas? Yes, what Joy said is correct. We do this is offerings usually is to practice cutting our attachments as well. And when we're attached to something, it causes us to suffer because we always have that great fear of losing them. And as such, so as I mentioned that when you have offered, it's something that you have given it out. It's no longer yours. You can't offer something and then take it back. That is not offering. That is just it's not pure offering. I mean, that's not offering actually, because you're taking it back. So as such, whatever you offer to the Buddha, it's, for me, it's something that it no longer belongs to you. So whatever the items that is on the altar, or when you remove it, it should actually go towards something that will benefit others. As I mentioned before, the cash and the money, I would use it to benefit others, as in giving to charity, or donating it to the temples so that they may upkeep the places of where people can visit and gain some peace. So as such, I would not offer. I mean, you can offer it, but just bear in mind that this is with pure motivation that you wish to offer to the Buddha, and don't offer something that you would always think in the back of your mind that you can use it or it will be for you. That is selfishness attached to that, and that is not not pure offering. And the time has been running, and I would like to end the session now. So whatever questions there are, I will answer in the comment section, the box. Okay, so we end the session with a prayer, dedication prayer. I'll do it in Tibetan. Giang Dục Sen Chu Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Ge Yu Shi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gon Ne Gon Du Pe Wa Shu, Toni To Wa Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Ge Yu Shi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gon Ne Gon Du Pe Wa Shu, Da So Ji Ni Sa Pa Ge Wa Di, Dan Dan Ru Wa Gun Na Gam Pa Da, Je Pa Je Su Lo San Tra Pa Yi, Tam Ping Yin Po Rin Du Sa Se Sho, Ke Wa Kun Tu Yan Da La Man Da, Dra Me Cho Ki Pa La Lo Cho Chi, Sa Dam Lang Yi Nyot Te Ra Zo Ne, Do Je Chang Yi Ngo Pa Ngo Tu So, Ke Wa Di Nyu Du Da, La Ma Sang Yu Dru Yo Ne, Dru Wa Chi Kya Ma Lu Pa, De Yi Sa La Go Pa Shu, Cho Ki Kya Po Sung Ka Pa, Cho Su Nam Pa Pe Wa La, Ge Ki Sa Ma Si Wa Da, Tung Ki Ma Lu Sang Wa Shu, Da Dam Sung Yi Du Sun Dan, Dru Wa Song Yi La Te Ne, Ge Wa Lo San Tra Pa Yi, Tam Pa Yu Ri Va, Yu Shi, Ni Mo De Le Sen De Le, Ni Me Gun Yan De Le Shi, Ni Sin Ta Tu De Le Pa, Kun Cho Sung Yi Jing Yi Lo, Kun Cho Sung Yi Ngo Tru So, Kun Cho Sung Yi Tra Si Sho, Je Sun Lam Ma Ku Sen Rap Ting Ching, Nam Ka Tri Ni Cho Cho Ge Pa Da, Lo Sam Tem Pe Dro Me Sam Sung Yi, Dro E Mun Sa Ta Tu Ni, Yu Shi, Gang We Ra We Ko We Shin Kam Den, Ben Dan De Wa Ma Li Gu We Ni, Chen Ren Zik Wan Ten Sin Get So Yi, Sha Pe Shi De Ba Du Den, Yu Shi. Hồng Tôn Bình Ngô Trù Mà Lù Bà Đến Đến Đá Là Sào Đủ Sô Cô Đàn Đến Bà Long Chọn Nam Kế Bà Su Shik Shuk Tân Sào. Thank you. And to share with you, just now somebody, Alan mentioned Doji Shukden, and this is all Doji Shukdens here, just for your information. Thank you. See you tomorrow.